I made a castle with windows. Looks cool, doesn't it?
Quit hitting the ball with a meat cleaver.
I may have just moved the car to make Matthew have to find us. Good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Isn't today Friday?
It's Friday.
It's Friday, yay! I'm like, is it Friday? I don't know. Last night we had a lot of storms come through and they were pretty loud, but it was wonderful. I love the sound of a storm in the middle of the night. The ground is even wet outside still.
Like, I remember waking up in the middle of the night and then hearing, did you hear the loudest one in the middle of the night? Like, the loudest one was almost like a lion roaring at the top of its lungs.
Did y'all hear Luke going to bed?
Yes. Like, you kept on having to go in there and stuff.
We have kind of a prayer request. Ever since we went to the homeschool conference, Luke has not really done well in going to bed at all. I'm talking about, last night we started putting him to bed like 9:45ish. He was in bed and he did not go to sleep until after 12:30, after hours of screaming, putting him back to bed, and him just being so upset. It was terrible. I sat with him and I rocked him. I sat and held his hand beside his bed. You know, I fussed at him. I told him, you know, if you don't go to bed now, you're going to be in trouble. He tried to get in bed with his sisters and I was like, well, we'll let him. But then he started screaming and having a fit in there. Olivia even went on her own now, mind you. She went and got in his bed with him to try to snuggle up with him and see if he'll go to sleep like that. No, he just wanted to have a screaming Mimi hissy fit the entire night. So it was hard. Eventually, the only thing that worked is we put a baby gate in his doorway. So even if he opened his door, he couldn't come out. So I think after realizing that he couldn't go anywhere, I'm just hoping tomorrow will be better. Tonight will be better. Because I hate him crying that hard and being that upset. And there's nothing I can do for him. There's a Matthew.
It's Friday. How are you?
My throat's actually pretty sore, but I'm okay.
There's a lot of noise coming from back there.
That's our life, isn't it?
Yep.
Want to go see what they're doing?
Might need to do that. Good morning. The TV's on and I'm hearing flutes coming from the back. What's going on in the hallway?
Well, we're trying to raise money to give to the poor in the hospital. It really needs it. The houses.
Well, that's educational. Yeah. I've lost a bag of tortilla chips. I opened up a small one yesterday for lunch because I felt like some chips and salsa, and now I can't find it. And I suspect Luke has something to do with it, but that's just because he tends to do with everything that goes missing, especially when it's food.
I suggested to look in the toy bin, but he didn't want to take that seriously.
No, I'm gonna go look.
Where are you looking?
In the toy bin, because where else would we have tortilla chips?
I looked in your room.
No, there's... Oh, you looked in our room?
Not really.
And there's anything in the footstool? No tortilla chips in there. We didn't finish them off, did we? I don't think so. It's just a mystery. I mean, I guess I could have put them in the fridge or something when I was... No. Okay, so, yeah, missing bag of tortilla chips. I've got another one that we opened this weekend that I didn't think actually made it back here, so I have something to eat my salsa with. It's a mystery as to where this bag of chips has ended up.
Whenever the kids are asking to do something I don't particularly want them to do, I always just tell them to spell the word bunt, and if they spell the word bunt, they can do whatever they want to. It's very effective. I'm not nice, am I? Oh well, but it works.
I'm making things with kinetic sand, and I made a castle with windows. Looks cool, doesn't it? You're supposed to play with it in that, not on the table, bud. Can you put it back in there? In here? Yes, thank you.
What would you do if people did that to you?
My voice keeps kind of going out. I don't know why. Is it bedtime yet?
I know. Luke's giving us a run for our money right now.
Because he's running everywhere. This amount of like headstrongness is just not something we've had to handle before. So it's I don't know. It's just different.
But see, all day we've needed the baby gate in that door there.
I meant to move it at lunch and I forgot.
But I needed it in his room for his nap too.
I knew we had another gate up in the attic somewhere that was just an old fresh. Why'd we let him play with like inflated balls? Quit hitting the ball with a meat cleaver. That's just not a sport I'm familiar with right there. A spiked ball and a meat cleaver. Tennis. Yeah, okay.
I just want to help Saturday now and then. Back up. That was a fail too.
Did she just say that was a fail?
Yeah.
I hate it. Look at
No. So, anyway, I knew I had another gate up in the attic, but I pulled it down and it's a little warped. I think it got hot up there. So yeah, I won't be using that one. I'm fairly certain we've had that one since before we had kids. I think we used to use it to keep the dogs sectioned off in one part of the house. So yeah, probably past its time. I guess it's just time to throw it out. Now, why exactly does Luke have a knife and Lauren have a Frankenstein mask?
Isn't Frankenstein the person that made it?
Yeah, Frankenstein monster mask. Oh my gosh, Lauren.
We are going to our favorite Mexican restaurant because we have no food in the house, and we were gonna do a pork roast today and do it like barbecue, but my throat was hurting a bit earlier. It's feeling fine now, but I was like, vinegar on my throat does not sound like something I want to do. But anyways, we are here, we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna try to find a baby gate for Luke's door.
All the ones we have currently are too big to fit that door.
Yeah. Matthew, what are you having to research at our dinner table?
Oh, Lauren was interested what the biggest known exoplanet was and how that compared to Jupiter and how that compared to the sun.
Standard dinner conversation.
Well, now that everybody is like completely stuffed, we need to walk off dinner a little bit. So yeah, we need a way to kind of keep Luke contained in his room sometimes. Now that he can open all the doors and we can't always watch him.
And doorknob covers do not work.
He just rips those right off.
Those worked so good for the kids. The girls, they never would have just sat there. He goes like this. He puts his fingers in the end hole and pops them straight off.
Now, he's getting a lot better about doing as he's told. So, you know, we can't just write it off and say, oh, he's just terrible, we need to lock him in his room. No, it's not like that. He's doing much better. However, we can't always be right on top of him to discipline him the way that he needs to be. So, every now and then, yeah, I need to kind of block him off for a minute.
Well, especially, right now we're having a lot of nighttime issues.
Yeah.
He is going and just leaving his room over and over and over, and I'm not talking like for 10 minutes. If it were like a 10-15 minute thing, we'd be like, oh, that's fine, we can deal with it.
Yeah.
We're talking like hours of him screaming his head off, and it's because he can.
Yeah.
He can leave the room, so he leaves the room.
Yeah, and you know, when we're up with him, that's fine. We can correct him, lay him back down, keep him under control. My fear is that now that he's gotten in the habit of doing that, he's going to do that while we're all asleep, and you know, get into something.
And realistically, there's not a lot for him to get into, but he got something.
He'd find something to get into.
The thing is, he can climb.
Yeah.
And he knows how to pull a chair up. He got something off of the top shelf of our freezer today. It was on the top shelf. It could not have been higher or less in reach.
Yeah. But either way, hopefully this will be a very temporary thing, because like I said, he's doing a whole lot better about it, but it's not a change that we're going to be able to enact in him overnight.
They're looking at us.
It's okay.
Should we wave? Turn the camera around?
No.
Everyone recommended I try the Almay products, so for mascara. So I'm going to give it a shot, and hopefully I won't react to it. Now I'm wondering if there's certain ones that are hyperallergenic. This one specifically says hyperallergenic. Let me see whatever one I
Wait, it's hyperallergenic?
I like the green packaging on it. What?
Yeah.
Is that a reason?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, here.
Plus, get 30% off, up to a total $35 state.
Man, when they closed the food court, they were serious about it.
Can I see?
All right, do we actually have an option?
$40.
Really?
$40.
Man, we should have, that one we got at Aldi's, we should have gotten so many of them.
I know. Well, and this one doesn't even have a gate to go through it. He can open these. That's like what we had.
So a while back, we found some gates at Aldi's, and we bought, I think, just one of them. But, you know, they were like $29.99 or something crazy. We should have got a whole bunch of them, but we didn't. Was he upset we were on the other side of the door?
Yes, he goes, I want Sissy, I want Daddy, I want Sissy. I'm like, sounds like we're abducting him or something, you know.
Oh my. It's like the perfect temperature outside right
It
now.
reminds me of the temperature at the beach in the evening, because we like to sit out on the patio every night. So it's that nice, cool, breezy, perfect.
Missing the ocean smell though. Not quite
Yeah,
the same.
missing the ocean smell.
Right now it just smells like parking lot.
So Matthew's run into the store for a minute. I might need to be bad, just for 1 minute. I may have just moved the car to make Matthew have to find us. I love you.
To the other side of where we're at.
Sometimes I have a little bit of a mischievous streak, and this is the only April Fool's joke I'll get a chance to do. So I'm taking advantage of it, because I love him. He's coming straight for us, dang it. He's smiling though. I gotta look.
Trying to trick me?
What? How?
I love you. If you hadn't been holding the camera in the window, I might not have noticed. But also, there's not a lot of other vans this color out here.
Well, I thought about parking way out, but then I figured you might worry. I didn't want you to worry.
Alright, well, thank you. Alright, let's go home.
Here, we got you, Daddy. Did we get you?
I was confused.
Good.
But,
that's my goal.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like nothing new for me. Alright, so we're home, and apparently if I talk really loud, my voice goes out a little bit. I guess you can hear it now a bit, but I was yelling to Luke in the back, and like, it just kind of came out like this. And everybody laughed at me.
We couldn't help it. I mean, we love you.
Really?
Yeah.
You had to make fun of me?
Yeah.
Lauren, nerd! Lauren, hurry up!
Are those the options?
Maybe some ice cream would feel good in my throat. It doesn't hurt, it just,
You sound
There's a ball
educational.
in it.
Luke, come back in here!
Oh, so attractive.
I'm waiting for some ice cream. I've been waiting all day. Please, please, please give me some ice cream.
So tomorrow morning is going to be the first Saturday that we haven't had to go and do something, either soccer or having people over, in like many, many weeks. So I think we're going to end up going out to look for baby gates again, and probably pick up some more clothes for the kids because they've outgrown everything. But still, we get to do it at our own pace, which will be nice. Looking forward to just having a nice weekend together with the family. Well, today's shout out of the day goes to Lauren Weeks. She says, I love that you guys incorporate faith into your channel. Thanks, Lauren. And one of the most important things that we decided before we even started vlogging was that if we were going to have a channel and if we were going to present ourselves in a vlog, that it was going to be us. And the most important aspect of that is our relationship with Jesus Christ. And so sharing our faith and showing the just centrality of that in everyday life was very important to us. Well guys, we hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for joining us today. Good night. No, it's already recording. Now hit the button, or did you?
I did.
Okay.
I'm fancy.
I'm telling you.